Liverpool 2, Villarreal 0. Another brilliant night in the office for Jurgen Klopp and his men. The best team in the world right now for me. Absolutely unstoppable. Villarreal did very, very well to keep Jurgen Klopp's men at bay for as long as they did. A slightly fortuitous goal in terms of the deflection, but there are times in life where you make your own luck. Liverpool thoroughly deserve this, without a shadow of a doubt. The best team in every single department. And I mean this with respect to Unai Emery and Villarreal. Just outclassed. Better system, better style, better fitness. They play in a better league, and they have the better players, and they have a superior manager. There was no way anybody really saw Villarreal do. There's a moral victory tonight for Villarreal, only conceding 2. But that essentially puts them out. To win in normal time or even in extra time, they've got to score 3 without reply. Liverpool, I don't believe, have conceded 3 goals without reply for over a year now in football, if not, maybe even longer. I haven't even researched it. I can't remember the last time that happened to them in a decisive game anyway. They look like they're out. Liverpool through to that final. The quad is still on. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Let's do this.
Absolutely
An easy game tonight. A simplistic victory for Liverpool Football Club, proving to the world again that right now they're the best team in the world. Man City may be top of the league in the Premier League, but since the turn of 2022, there has been no team that plays better football, is more entertaining. The level of games they're winning, the clutch moments, the quality across the front line. Liverpool are absolutely purring right now. I remember only a few months ago, calls for Robertson to be replaced by Tsimikas by some Liverpool fans. Sadio Mane had to be sold. He was past his very, very best. What we're going to do in January, is Luis Diaz the answer when he first came in? What are FSG doing? A lot of FSG out tweets going around. Jurgen Klopp has turned this Liverpool team around. His players have come together. He has got them back on side. He's got them purring, on form, and raring to go. And I have to be honest with you, as a Manchester United fan, it scares the living daylights out of me. The quad is a genuine, bona fide outcome this season. Man City are the only team that can stop them. There is nobody else capable. And I said this at the beginning of the season. I thought Chelsea had a chance of doing better in the Champions League this year than they did. But Man City and Liverpool are the best 2 teams in the world. We've got a poll running right now here live on YouTube. 76% of the poll believe that Liverpool are the best team in the world right now. 17% say it's Man City and 7% think it's somebody else. I'd love to know who that 7% are and who you think is the very best player. But I have to say, I sat there watching the game tonight, and of course, as a fan of Liverpool, I wanted Villarreal to do something. I wanted Villarreal to stay in it. I wanted him to grab a goal against a run of play. It was frustrating me watching Liverpool, but not from a bitter point of view, just from the sheer angle that you are so good right now. You are so potent. You are so on point. And there are very few things to even be able to pick apart from a criticism point of view. You pass the ball so well. You're direct when you need to be. You retain possession when required. Your fluidity in your formation is sensational. You play with a flat back 4 on paper, but in reality, you kind of play with a back 3 at times because you'll get Fabinho drop a little bit deeper, so your fullbacks become wing backs. But the speed of which you get back into position when you lose the ball to get into the 4-3-3 to limit the space between the lines is sensational. It is an absolute colossal team. And then what you have at Liverpool is, oh my God, I've seen Zayn without a hat. Zayn is backstage without a hat. New man. He's a new man. I have to say, like, when I watch Liverpool play like this, it is frustrating as a United fan, but it is scintillating, and I can't take nothing away from them. And I have to say, this is the best Liverpool team so far under Jurgen Klopp, footballing-wise. Footballing-wise, it's the best we've seen. And I think what's now tipping them over the edge is Liverpool have their own Xavi. They have their own Zidane. They have their own Paul Scholes. They have that for the first time. I remember in Liverpool history, they have a play like in Premier League history. I weren't alive before that. I didn't watch them play. Thiago Alcantara. He's passing range, his ability to drive with the ball when he needs to, his great attacking instincts from a creative point of view, passes that break the lines, the tempo controlling, and his defensive capability. He got, like I mentioned, those other guys. This guy's got defensive capabilities on top. Thiago is one of the best midfielders of the last 20 years in Europe. And when he came to the Premier League, we spoke about this on the terrace, that if he wins something here, and maybe win something major here, and a quad would do this. If you look at what he's won in England, if he does it, what he did in Germany, and what he did in Spain, this guy's going to go into the midfield GOAT conversation of Europe. And he's one of the best midfield players Liverpool's ever had. I'm going to exclude Gerrard because we know he's always number one. I'm not going to trigger anybody, but he's there. Thiago is just ridiculously good. And it took him a little bit of time to find his feet in England. You know, availability and fitness and a few other things, of course, played their hand. And I know tonight wasn't a game it was in England, geographically. It wasn't a game in an English competition. But he's made for this league. He is a Premier League player. And the reason that I put him up there as one of the greatest is the fact that he's done it in 3 different leagues and internationally. The guy's just ridiculous. And again, I have to say, I have jealousy without envy. I have jealousy without anger. You can tell by my voice. I'm praising Liverpool here. It hurts me to do it as a Manchester United fan, but this team is scintillating, and it's going to take a lot for City to stop them if they make the final. If they get Real Madrid in the final, they are so open. They spread like peanut butter. I'm not going to do the other joke. The other joke's rude. They'll kill them. They'll kill them. Listen, if you're a Man United fan, you want Liverpool to be stopped from winning the Champions League, it has to be Man City because they will hurt Real Madrid. Because the one thing that I think now Liverpool have over City is they've got the extra athleticism in their team. They really do. And we saw what happened the last time they played at a neutral ground. City kind of got banged up a bit. The scoreline flattered them, but there we go. Like, I'm going to go to some. We've got man like Sunshine, we've got Ben, we've got Rack, we've got Colleen, and we've got Zane all coming on and joining us on the panel very soon to break down that game, to give you their thoughts and feelings. Keep that poll going. Do me a big, big favor and smash the like button. I know it's really important that you do that. Terry, Liverpool are going in 3rd Champions League final over the last 5 years. Klopp is doing something special. I'm going to have really high standards. It's something special. If he wins this one, he has 2 in that period of time. It really, really is. And you can't take it away from him. And I'm somebody that will never do that. Winning trophies. And this is the irony, because for years, me and Liverpool fans have had these debates about what creates the greatest legacy. And everyone talks about player awards or this statistic or this record. Trophies. Always been the trophies. And you're absolutely right there. To a degree, Winterport, it's all about the trophies. But Mo is the only goal scorer. Get out of here. Do you know what's interesting? And this is Mane's return to form. The brilliance in that is that it's helped Liverpool because Mo Salah has stopped scoring. But he scored against Man United. Who the hell doesn't? Do you know what I mean? Man like Pookie looked like Prime R9 against us. That's not a dig at Mo Salah. Everybody knows how much I rate him. But Mane's return to form is it's just been sensational for Liverpool. There's no doubt about it. Twerking, again, that's it. I get called a twerker every time I praise a rival. I'd say something negative about a rival. Oh, you're so salty to me. Perlo Way. You did not get hugs off your mummy, did you? Bless you. You need to get back on that bitty. My friend. Let's have a little look. I've got a few more super chats that have come through here. No preview for the United-Chelsea game. That's getting recorded at 1. This is how busy I've been. That's getting recorded at 1 a.m. tonight. Myself and Have Hope, and that'll be out tomorrow morning. So there we go. There was another super chat. I can't find it now. From Reese the Beast. Where's that from Reese the Beast? I want to find this. I think I've scrolled past it. Where are you at? Reese the Beast? I can't find it, my friend. Where are you? Thiago or Fabregas? I'm gonna have to say Thiago, even though Cesc Fabregas was also out of this world. And you're splitting hairs of 2 very, very top players. What did Thiago do in Spain? He was very good for Barcelona. Like he won titles and stuff and he was good enough. He just wasn't good enough at that point to be ahead of Xavi and Iniesta. If Xavi and Iniesta were like 4 or 5 years older, he may have stayed. He was good enough for Barcelona. He left to get game time. Trent's defending the past few games, 10 out of 10 is what Will Flex. I don't know why I said Felix. Will Flex has got to say. I found it, Reese boy. 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football, Terry. Did you see those subs that Villarreal made? Don't count them out, and I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm sorry to do this, and I'm not trying to do Terry Judge. I'm counting them out. When was the last time Liverpool conceded 3 goals without reply in the Champions League? Go back and, honestly, someone right now, go back when they lost 3-0, 4-1, 5-2. It's not happening, my bro. And Villarreal are not scoring against this team. Have you seen who's at the back? Forget the fullbacks for a minute. You've literally got Konate and Van Dijk, who are about 9 foot tall, weigh about 18 stone, and can run like Usain Bolt. Plus, they're very good defenders. They ain't scoring. Did you see? I can't pronounce that guy's name. One of the attackers went up for like a shoulder barge with Konate. It was like Konate took a shit. Like it was terrible. It was like he's like this big next to him. Honestly, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. They're not doing it. They're not doing it at all. Look like man took his little brother out for a walk. If Klopp and Liverpool win the 2 domestic cups and the Champions League but miss out by a point in the Premier League, how do you rate the season? Very good. Winning the Champions League always makes it a great season. Winning 2 domestic trophies is amazing. But that's all it is. You won 3 trophies in a season. It's a brilliant season. I don't know where I'd categorize it. It's not as good as doing the treble, but it's still sensational. It's still very good. Yeah. It's I don't really know what you are. It's brilliant. I'd swap. In fairness, I'd swap to have 45 minutes playing like Liverpool right now. I'd sell my soul to the devil for that. Because my team is poop. But literally, the only team that can stop Liverpool this season doing anything is going to be Man City. Of course, Chelsea in that FA Cup final as well. But yeah, look, Liverpool are going to win. I think Liverpool are going to win one more thing, aren't they? At least one more thing they're going to win this season, at the very least. At the very least. But we shall see. Thiago has Champions League final man of the match. Fabregas has no Champions League. Thiago disrespect is insane. Not by me. I've just praised him. So, yeah, I know that's not aimed at me. Thiago's out of this world. He really is absolutely out of this world. He's a sensation. He really is a sensation. Terry, can I have a birthday shout out to Lisa Ann? She's my stepmom. Okay. I'm just trying to work out if it's one of them weird things. I'm like, how does that? Happy birthday to Lisa Ann.
Terry, she's an adult star, bro.
Oh, is she? Well, that just... Hang on a minute. Hang on. How do I not know that and you do, KJ? What are you telling me, KJ? KJ!
Boy, listen.
KJ, caught slacking! KJ caught slacking!
Listen. Grown up people talk, innit? A man knows things, innit, that I don't want to.
I see you, KJ! Someone says here, Barca beat them 3-0 2.5 years ago. Yeah, literally. It's such a long time. I can't see it happening, to be fair. But big up Lisa Ann if she really is your mum. Can you imagine if she actually called that? I don't know. Easiest route to the Champions League final. It's been okay for Liverpool, but that's because the so-called mighty Bayern Munich went, Terry, you don't know football if you think Bayern Munich aren't that good. Huh? Is that? Yeah, I can hear the sorries. It's not Liverpool's fault. It ain't Liverpool's fault that there aren't that many good teams in it. They're still the best. It is what it is. Because if we go by that logic, like if you start going by that logic, you can start downplaying lots of, this league title doesn't count as much because there weren't as teams as great as 15 years ago, and this doesn't count. There are people, they're just the best team in Europe right now, best team in the world, simple as that. The last time Liverpool lost 3-0 in the UEFA Champions League was in 2014 versus Real Madrid. I think they lost to Barcelona 3-0, the Messi free kick and all that. But it's a long time ago, and they're even better now. It's not happening. Fantastic channel, Terry. I know. No, I ain't messing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. He says, Liverpool are an example of brilliance of coaching when it works, something United are missing completely. A lack of brilliant coaching, structure, the club. Listen, Ralph Rangnick said this, and he kind of like, if you hear what he said when Ralph said it, Ralph knows Klopp well. They definitely had chats. Klopp is hugely responsible for where Liverpool are, but there are so many other people behind the scenes that have helped get Liverpool there. It's a club effort. When clubs foul, when a team doesn't win, it's a club failure. When a team wins, it's a club win. And of course, Klopp is massively important in that. He's a big, big cog, and he's grown into that. But the coaching element, very true, very true. I honestly think if you gave Man United Liverpool squad and you give the whole Man United squad to Liverpool, in 3 years' time, this Man United team may not be at this level because I think there's ability issues there, but would beat this Liverpool team 8 times out of 10, easy. I really believe that's how good Klopp is, the mentality at the club and everything. That's a compliment, by the way. Some won't take it as a compliment, but it is a compliment. Yeah, KJ has been, Pastor KJ exposed. They always say that about the pastors, don't they? You know what I mean? Watch him. The priest and all that. He's back again! He's back again!
It's not Queens, bro.
It's not me, bro. You did it to yourself, G. Do you know what I mean? Actually, Terry, I follow her on Pornhub. They didn't say that. I'm only joking.
No, I didn't. Listen, that is a fallacy. That is
KJ, you're digging, bruv. You're digging. The underdog is a beautiful thing in football. It is, and I very rarely do foregone conclusions. But in this case, I got to. Right, I'm bringing that panel out very soon. We've got a big, big panel for tonight's show. We really, really do. I'm looking forward to getting them all on. It's Ramadan, brother. No devil talk. Yeah, but not for KJ or me. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, I hear that. KJ. Oh, no, I'm not reading that one. I'm not reading that one out. Oh, wait. Yeah, back to back. Sweet clutch assist, Mo. Complete the quad. I think that's what you're trying to say, Mohammed. Isn't it so refreshing seeing unbiased refereeing at Anfield? Unlucky to Villarreal. I still think an Emery masterclass is pending. We can all live in hope. But I doubt it. Man like Nabil here says, if you want 3 Champions League medals, then become a Liverpool goalkeeper. Man City versus Liverpool final. Liverpool is winning. As a United fan, Liverpool are amazing. Well, is amazing, but are amazing is what you're saying there. I hear you. Right, I'm bringing out my panel now to have their say. What we on likewise? I'm just going to check here what we on likewise. It's got to reload. 279. You are kidding me. Get that like button smashed now for us, people. Let's get this past 500 likes while we're live on the air. It's panel time now, people. We've got Zayn, we've got Kaleem, we've got Ram, we've got Rak, we've got Ben, and we've got Man like Sunshine. I don't know if KJ is joining us. The camera's not on, so I'm not going to put him in. Let's do it, people. Hang on. I've really messed this up. I've got to take the comment down, get this ready, and then press this button, and then I'm going to do it. Let's go. I got everyone in on time. Welcome back to the show, people. What are you saying?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
Very good, man. Very, very good.
Good.
Was that it?
Waiting for a response from Tezza.
Yeah. Listen, Liverpool fans, obviously a big result tonight. Easy win. For me, watching it felt easy. You probably felt a bit more nervous. Talk to me about the game. Whoever wants to go first, go for it.
I'll go for it. Yeah, I wouldn't say I wasn't nervous at all. I think I still had a lot of faith in Liverpool. We had the quality. Mane, I want to talk about this guy because the guy has been criticized heavily, deservedly so at times, but this guy is up another level. It's a good thing you pick up Zayn, but yeah, he's been criticized a lot, but the guy's turned up, especially after AFCON. AFCON gave him a lot of confidence, and maybe the Diaz signing has kicked him up the arse. But Mane is just pressing wise, his overall play. Sometimes the ball doesn't stick with him, but most of the time it kind of does. But yeah, he looks a quality player, and it bodes us well for the next leg because it's 2-0. Hopefully I would have loved it to be 3, but we'll take 2-0 and we'll see what happens at Villarreal.
Yeah. Can I go next, brother? On this, right?
Yeah. Go on,
so first of all, Arsenal fans, you man are in the mud, bruv. Look at Emery, bruv.
Let's talk about Liverpool, man.
Reject Premier League
Forget
players,
about
bruv.
Arsenal fans. What's wrong with you?
Zayn, Arsenal. No, leave him, man.
Premier League
Why?
players, bruv. And look how good the job he done against
Zayn. This is Champions League football. We're not talking about Arsenal.
We're talking
about Arsenal fans.
Can we talk about Thiago again, Terry? You know I'm a big fan of Thiago. Even when he was bullying those 12-year-olds last season or whatever, man. You know, I was rating the brother from back then, bro. So can we not appreciate the way that guy just controls the game. Do you know what I mean? Controls the game. This is what Man United fans wish Bruno could do, bruv. Do you get me? Control it, pass it around.
Oh, man, they're not even the
just
same
everywhere,
players.
bruv.
Saying just
I
you
know,
talk about our players
come
without
on,
mentioning
man.
another
Can I
player
not
from a
do
rival
that?
team. Stop
Talking
it.
about
Stop
Arsenal
it.
United. Look at you.
We're
I've
above them.
I've
We're
got to get
above
in there,
them.
bruv.
Stop
Anyway,
talking
but I
about
think
them.
overall, I think another great cup performance from a cup team. So yeah, I think definitely in the second leg, Villarreal don't really score many goals, so it should be a change of rotating. And I'm more annoyed about BT Sport messing Liverpool over again. I'm making us 12:30 kickoff again against Newcastle because let's keep it real. There's a lot of people hoping for the quad, and do you know what I mean? That's a sticky one, isn't it? Playing Newcastle on the weekend. But overall, another exemplary performance. Klopp done his job at halftime. Showed the players you need to fix up, step up. The only concern I've got is Trent, man. He's looking a bit dodgy at the moment, bro. Defensively, he's looking all right, but I think, do you know what I mean? It's weird. He's got better defensively, but I think, do you know what I mean? His crossing and his corners have been a bit dodgy lately. So we'll see. Hopefully, he fixes up for the weekend, bro.
I mean, he put that cross in, and if Robertson kept himself on side, he gets a brilliant goal. Listen, I don't think there's anything wrong. I think Trent in the last 3 or 4 games has maybe been the best I've seen him all year across both elements of his job, defending and attacking. The only thing that's happened is that people haven't finished the crosses that he's put into the box, and that's not really on Trent. If he puts a beautiful cross in and someone doesn't make the run, Trent's done his job for me. Like
the one to Salah as well, too.
And in the second,
yeah,
in the second half, there was a slight change, a tactical adjustment to his position, and actually that's what opened the game up for us much more in the second half. So
I think it's more of the crossing.
Swings and roundabouts.
I think his corners. I think I'm getting a bit annoyed with his corners where he keeps hitting the first man quite a lot recently, right? And it's a bit frustrating because we're normally quite good at set pieces and scoring goals from corners. That's definitely a way for Liverpool to break down our low block team nowadays because we've got that aerial threat, right? So I get a bit disappointed when he hits the first man. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair, man.
I kind of get that. I'm going to call him for a minute as a rival. We'll keep it on this game, and then later we'll kind of move on to the wider thing with Liverpool. Can you see Villarreal getting back into this game in the second leg? Everybody wrote them off in their second leg against Bayern Munich, and I think we were in the studio that night. They shocked the world. Can you see Villarreal pulling off one of the biggest miracles in recent Champions League history?
No.
Nah.
I love
Really? Really?
I love him with all my heart. I love Emery, but it's not gonna happen, boo. Liverpool are going to the final. Do you know what? I do hope they make it difficult and competitive, at least keep us in it. But 2-0 was a big ask because Villarreal, they don't score a lot, to be honest with you. They in the Champions League anyway, they don't score a lot. And they've had a clown in goal for years. He behaves like he's like what, 22? He's 29, that their goalkeeper. He's been a clown for them for years. And tonight was no different. I would love to see it, but it's not.
Yeah, I think when you get to a certain age, having kind of deep fades and lines in your head and stuff's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, can I catch? He keeps punching everything, bruv. What's wrong with him? Honestly, that guy.
He's not even clocked, Terry. He's not even clocked.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. By the way, when my hair grows back, I'm getting a nice fade, brother. I'm telling you, I'm getting it. I agree with you, Cole. I can't see him, and I'm not trying to. I very rarely do those foregone conclusion predictions. I can't see it. It's just this Liverpool team look too good right now, and I'm going to come to Rack in a minute. But Ben, just another game. I know you are probably the most conservative Liverpool fan that comes on the terrace. You never like to get ahead of yourself, but you just keep getting better and better and stronger as this season goes on.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen too much, mate. To be honest, I've kind of learned to just go with it and see where we are in May. But I think we're in a final because they didn't even try and attack. But even at the end of the game, when they got a corner and they got the free kick, last kick of the half, they put 2 poor balls in. They didn't really push everyone forward, and it's like I don't know what they're trying to get at. To be fair, because those set pieces should be a dream to Villarreal, and they should be trying to punish us at every given chance. But again, they just didn't look like they were interested in scoring. And I feel like when you're going up against us, if you're not even trying to score, then we're probably going to get at least a goal a game. So yeah, I think we should be all right. I wouldn't go crazy and rotate or anything like that. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, put like Curtis Jones and stuff in there." I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I'm pretty confident now that we'll be in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rack, from your point of view, people have mentioned Mane and mentioned Thiago tonight. This team is just coming to the ball at the right time.
Again, I'm just gonna praise Klopp and the brilliant rotation he's done, especially the second half of the season. Kept everybody fresh, even like Trent coming off in the last 15 minutes or whatever it was, and just generally the substitutions. You know, it's really important. We've got 3 games a week now for the rest of the league, the rest of the season, and it's impossible for us to play that with just 11, 12 players. You saw City at the end of yesterday's match. They looked quite drained. Guardiola himself looked quite drained, and they've got to play Leeds this weekend. Leeds, obviously, they're going to run around the park. Who knows how effective they'll be? But they'll give City a physical workover, and then they've got to play Madrid again next week. So look, Klopp deserves massive respect. We're peaking right at the right time. You know, when people talk about Olympic Games and stuff like that, like peaking at the Olympic Games. Obviously, it's not quite the same with football, but we're peaking at the key time of the season, and yeah, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it.
Rack, do you know why I think Jurgen Klopp has such a really good rotation? I think it's because of the fringe players have stepped up as well. Like, I can think of Joe Gomez when he played right back, had 2 man of the match performances against Watford and Nottingham Forest. Origi stepped up against Everton and he stepped up against Wolves. All our fringe players are now stepping up in the right moments, and they're telling Klopp, put me on that pitch. I've deserved at least a couple of minutes on that pitch, and we need that for the next coming games, man. We really do.
Can I also add on that? I think it's important. Thiago and Fabinho, I keep saying that from the start of the season. That's my midfield partnership. Them being fit and available throughout the period after January, where we've turned it around, and we swap out Keita and Henderson, and that's fine. As long as we have Thiago and Fabinho fit for the rest of the season, some amazing things can happen. If one of those people go down, we're going to have some issues like we had over Christmas and before, where we started drawing and losing games. So I just want to keep it real that we're good as long as we keep those 2 key midfielders healthy.
Yeah,
because they provide us.
I do get that, but you can label that as City. Right now, City could still win the Champions League, the Premier and the Premier League this season. if they lost KDB and Ruben Diaz for the rest of the season, suddenly look how different they looked yesterday without a couple of fullbacks as an example. So I get your point, but you can kind of label that at any team still fighting for titles, really. And I do get your point. I want to pull on what Racker said a minute ago.
KDB is a prime example. Right now, he is playing incredibly well. He's arguably, if not clearly, the best midfielder in the world right now. If they lose him, obviously City have got a great squad. They've got good players that can come in. But if City lost KDB now, is anyone saying they're clear favourites to win the league at this stage?
They have to be still. No, they have to be. They lost. They lost KDB last season. They lost KDB last season. What's his name? Gundogan or whatever his name. Gundogan came in. There was no flipping difference. He started pulling up man of the match performances. So you can talk about hold up. You can talk about the quality. You can talk about the quality not being the same. No problem. But in terms of the system doesn't jar one bit with Gundogan in replacement. And that's the issue. That's the issue for any team. The system does not switch up. The quality will be maybe 1 or 2 sublime passes that Gundogan probably wouldn't be able to play, that KDB would play in that game. Yes, there was. Of course there would be. But there's 2 passes or 3 or more passes, if you want to be even more generous, going to be the difference between City getting results. I don't see it, mate. I really don't see it.
Absolutely, they can. Right now, the 1% count. Right now, the 1% count.
Not that deep for City. Not that deep. I think you're going 2-2 I think you think it's closer than that. I don't. The squad's too deep for that. I don't think you'd be looking at that area.
Sunshine, as you said last season, Gundogan was arguably the best midfielder when he was playing.
He was class.
He carried that team. The amount of goals he scored, clutch, and the assist. So I agree with you on that, Sunshine. Now,
yeah, it's not that deep, bro. I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah, it's good. Look, it's certainly going to be interesting in the run-in. On the point you made earlier, Rack, as well, about Liverpool and getting their rotation right. That is massively key, and it isn't just about getting the rotation right. I think on top of that, it's also about the players stepping up and making themselves be counted. And I remember a couple of summers ago when you guys were linked with Timo Werner. It was before the summer. It was during the lockdown period, and Liverpool were linked with Timo Werner, and you were linked with Kai Havertz. Now, you didn't get either of them, but I remember how much money you were looking at spending, and everybody was talking about where they were going to fit into the team. And at that point, there was this notion amongst Liverpool fans around not really rotating too much, because there'll be backup players and they'll be here to replace Mane and Salah long term. And for me, my take was always, no, you need rotation and you need competition for places. You know, Mo Salah's in a bad run of form right now in terms of his goal scoring outputs. He hasn't been at his brilliant best. The fact that you've got the likes of Diaz and Jota and Mane now scoring, it actually means if this was to continue, he could fall outside the team and you've got other people that can step up and actually deliver for you. And the greatest teams that have ever existed have had that capability where when you lose one or two, and you've all seen me do it on the terrace, I kind of get annoyed where a team gets one or two injuries and they create this big excuse of, well, it's okay not to win anything. Great teams of the past didn't do that. You manage 5, 6, 7 injuries to your first team, I kind of get. But when it's 1 or 2, you've got to learn to manage it. You've got to rotate, and you've got to put the right players in the right system to circumvent those weaknesses. And Klopp has done that brilliantly this year in terms of the balance. I think it's sensational. We have a poll going on. A new poll's now up. Who is the greatest player out of Thiago or Fabregas? Thiago is currently winning with 69%. I say 69% of the vote is with him. And guys, we'll go on to that conversation in just a minute. I've got some super chats I've got to do here. Julianne over Lisa Ann. I don't know who either are. So there we go. Watching them now, G, is what Travon says. Comment here says, thank you for the super chat. Says 2 more assists from Mo Salah. You've got to talk about this guy's playmaking. Yeah, look, he's an excellent player. There's no doubt about it at all. He is great. And I've always felt with Mo Salah, a lot of people have always disrespected his ability on the ball, as if he's just a tapping merchant. I've never really understood it. Nabil here says, just make Man City win the Champions League so he can leave, as in Pep. And Klopp needs to go to Real Madrid. They are just insane managers. I was thinking that the other day. Real Madrid and Barca 10 years ago would have tried to take these two away. Like, I know Pep's already been at Barcelona, but the power's in England now. The money's in England now.
You don't need to go. We've
got a troll here, people. King of Things says your hair follicles weren't strong enough. Transplant failed. Isn't that my G? What happened is the transplant was brilliant, but I rubbed it off on your mum's headboard. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I lost it on your... I'm sorry, bro. Ain't my fault. Chelsea are going to stop Liverpool from doing the quad. But I want to speak about Thiago. I know we've kind of brought him up already. There's been big polls running all week across socials. Fabregas or Thiago Alcantara. You jumped in first there, Sunshine. If you were to pick either player in their pomp, who would you pick, Fabregas or Thiago?
Fabregas all day, and that was me being a United fan. I mean, I'll be honest, there's a lot of recency bias because, let's be honest, a lot of the English fans, they never watched Thiago like that back a day. None of them can tell you hand on heart that they watched Thiago at Bayern Munich. They only saw him in the Champions League, with the greatest of respect. Great, incredible player, but Fabregas, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate, in my opinion. I think anyone that is comparing any player from that generation either have memory loss or generally have just forgotten how great that era was and how good them players were. I rate Thiago. I really, really appreciate him as a footballer technically. But again, it's just a silly question. I don't get it. I don't get it. Recency bias only. That's in the logic I'm seeing right now.
I think there needs to be more time put on Thiago because still Thiago's around about 28, 29. Fabregas was doing it when he was 16 until he was about 33. So I need to see Thiago. If he can do it up to 36, then I'll probably put Thiago above him. But longevity is the main issue behind Thiago. But what he did at Barcelona was very good. But Fabregas and Thiago is like, you're nitpicking. You have to wait until another couple more seasons to have a real deep.
The thing is, they're both incredible players. I'm not going to sit here and slander Fabregas. I don't really like comparing them because they're also quite different players. But at the same time, football now is very, very different than it was even 10 years ago. I mean, Ralph Rangnick said it recently. Like football now, especially compared to 20 years ago, the physical demands of football right now are a completely different stratosphere. Like the reason why the technical aspect of football, you could argue, has died is because the physical aspect has gone that much higher. You have so much less time, even in the slower leagues. So it's just different, man. And pick your poison or pick your player. It's up to you.
It's true, and it is hard to compare eras. It's like the fullback conversation. I was hearing the commentators on the show talking about how like what Robertson and Trent do is crazy. The level of assist they get and everything else. But you're starting to see more and more fullbacks come through now that are minded in that way, which tells you. And they didn't start training these fullbacks to be like this 3 years ago when Trent broke through. This has clearly been something that's been going on around football, happening in academies, and it's going to be this new wave. I feel like fullbacks are the new number 10s. The Ozil, Juan Mata, David Silva number 10s are gone now. You don't see them in football. There are very few about. And you know what? In another 10 years' time, it will evolve again into something else and something very different. Because I even think about this. Tiki-taka football, its pomp, wouldn't work right now. I don't think it would. I think teams are too strong, too quick, and too powerful in the press to allow that to work. I think they get caught on the ball. And we kind of saw that when they were at their best, and then you had the Bayern Munich and the Real Madrid teams that then started to take over Europe, who were very good on the ball, but they were just bigger and stronger and more powerful. And then what Liverpool and City have done is kind of taken that to that next level again. And football's an interesting one, but I just like Thiago. I like Thiago. I thought Fabregas was amazing, by the way, but Thiago for me, there's just something. What I like about the way he plays is like this nonchalant way of doing it.
Brazilian flair.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's
Thiago Benito.
Yeah, but Eric Cantona had it. It's different positions. Zidane had it. These players that can they look like they're not trying, but they are. They look like he looks like he's got 10 minutes on the ball at every single moment. And that's a skill to look like you've got all the time in the world. I think it's great, but it's only marginal. And I would just pick Thiago personally.
I want to say this, right? Why does it have to be so binary? Why can't we appreciate players? Why does it always have to be he's better than that person better than this person? Why can't we just say, you know what? I enjoyed the way he played, what his generation, and go for it? Because you see it all the time. And I think
Zane, I always tiring to have the debate. I think what's tiring is if you say Thiago's the best, Fabregas was crap. That's crap. Like no one here has said either player is bad. Otherwise, there's no point having a Ballon d'Or competition, is there? Just give it. We've become like those weird schools you now get in certain parts of England, where if you come last in the 100-meter sprint, you still get a gold medal. Like you still need to be able to segregate and have these conversations.
Popularity contest is not really down to actual ability and what you've done that year, because Lewandowski was robbed. Do you know what I mean? So let's keep it 100 on that. So I'm just saying that. Let's appreciate, because especially with the social media. Obviously, I don't get on social media that much, but the energy wasted sometimes, and backwards and forwards, people get heated, and I'm thinking, just enjoy the players, man. Yeah, debate it, but do you know what I mean? Ultimately, just appreciate we're lucky to watch great football. Do you know what I mean? Because imagine playing, in the 50s or something. Do you know what I mean? Where it was a different kind of football back then. So I'm just saying, let's appreciate all people. Everyone's got positives and negatives, and just appreciate the players that you can see progress and grow.
I do get that, Zane, but if we got rid of all debates, half of my content would have to stop. So unfortunately, I'm going to reject your take on that, and we're going to keep having these conversations. In terms of yourself, Colleen, like from your point of view, like you're obviously a gooner, so you're going to have big love for Cesc Fabregas. Like if they're both in their pomp right now, which one are you picking to put in this current Arsenal midfield?
Currently it would be Thiago, but that doesn't mean that I think Thiago is better than Cesc Fabregas. If you're talking about currently, but I agree with like the lads in terms of, and even you and I, we've said this many times on hot takes or even just generally talking. I don't like comparing different eras of football. It's just like there's prime and there's a different style. I don't like comparing the two. I think if Thiago keeps performing at the level he's performing at a team like Liverpool or any top club like that for another 3-4 years, then maybe I would entertain the debate. But Cesc Fabregas just got too much credit in the bank, man. What he's been doing since he was 16. Like he was playing for Arsenal with a broken bloody leg. He was captain. He was dragging us through the Champions League, and he's just a quality player. And I'm not saying that Thiago isn't, but I think he needs more time. I'm not ready to jump on Thiago's better than Cesc Fabregas. And the question
was saying that is fair enough mentioning the Premier League, but don't mention the Champions League, bruv, because Arsenal haven't done much in the Champions League. So Premier League back to Fabregas for that, bruv, because
Hang on a minute. So one minute ago, Zayn saying it's not compare anyone. They're bringing Arsenal to the conversation.
Mad.
I mean, bro. Madness.
Terry, can I just quickly
Arsenal doing the Champions League with Fabregas? Not much. That's what I'm saying. Talk about Premier League.
So based on hang on a minute. So based on that logic, Gerrard can't be a Premier League great then.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
This is the problem, Zayn. When you pick and choose to win these little battles, stop doing it, bro.
Like I said, Premier League.
You ain't won it. You ain't won it.
So what are the rules? Is there rules about?
So you can't know. There are rules, and this is where these conversations are actually worth having. Cesc Fabregas is a European great, even though he didn't personally win the Champions League with. I don't think he won it at all. But what he did internationally, what he did.
Thiago hasn't won international trophies.
Well, okay, just let me finish talking, bro, please. Like what Fabregas has done domestically in 2 countries, what he's done internationally. It circumvents the fact he doesn't have that Champions League winners medal. That doesn't make him a bad. Same as Gerrard doesn't stop being a world-class central midfielder because he didn't win a league title. It's mad. It's mad to me.
Just quickly say, I think I disagree with Zayn. I'm not Zayn, sorry, Rack on his point of they're kind of 2 different kind of players because Thiago back at Barcelona was meant to be the heir to Iniesta. That's what he was meant to be. And Fabregas was very similar in that kind of place, a little bit of a creative midfielder that would pick out an eye through a needle ball. It's only when Thiago went to Bayern is that Pep was like, now I'll make you into a regista. So for me, again, I think if you're asking who's the better regista, I think Thiago is a better regista. But if you're asking who's a better creative midfielder as a 10,
no, I'm asking who the greatest of the 2 is. So someone in the comments said, Terry, you said you take G. Someone said in the comments you take GA over eye test. I don't know why my camera's suddenly gone mad, but it has. You take GI over eye test, and I'm like, that isn't the point of this. I'm asking who the greatest is, and if we're talking about who the best attacking midfielder is, it's Fabregas because it just is. If we're asking who the best register is, it's Thiago. I'm asking who the greatest of the 2 is. You know, we have the debate when you pick the GOAT, you're comparing all players. So between these 2, that's what I'm asking. But Ben, what are you saying, mate?
On Thiago, the whole Thiago thing, yeah. So for me, he's look. I tweeted out last week, or no, more than that, about 2 weeks ago, that if we keep Thiago fit for the last 10, 15 games, we might just see something special because he's just, I wouldn't say he's getting us through games, but when he plays, we don't lose. It's as simple as that. And the proof's in the pudding. I think we've got like a 93 percentage win with him in. So, you know, we're just a completely different team without him. But the whole Fabregas debate, I'm not really interested in that. But I said earlier as well, there's 2 midfielders I've seen at Liverpool that are better than him, and that's it. And that's Steven Gerrard, Xabi Alonso. And even then, he could be compared to Xabi Alonso by the time he's done. So that's the caliber I'm putting him on now. Obviously, we've not seen too many great midfielders, granted, but Thiago is a special player, and he was brought in for games like tonight, and he delivered. He's been delivering the last. Well, to be fair, like I thought the criticism last season was very harsh. Like we didn't have a proper functioning centre back pairing with him. Fabinho was dropping into centre back. Henderson was dropping into centre back. He was playing with Curtis Jones and Gini a lot. It was just a very unfair test for him last season, and I still think he did quite well. But this season, we are seeing the true Thiago, the one that we signed, the one that we were desperate to sign, the one that Bayern were desperate to tie down to a deal. Because if you remember, they were literally begging him to stay. So I'm just glad that he's ours. Like every time I watch him play, you know, whether it's in person or whether it's on the telly, I'm just coming away from the game thinking, wow, like we are lucky. We're very lucky.
This is why I say, like, you're right. The end of last season, it was harsh because the last 10 games of last season, the 10 games that were critical us in claiming Champions League football, Thiago was our best player. We won 8 out of 10 games, got 26 out of possible 30 points, and he was the driving force behind it. He was brilliant, and anyone who loves football. I said this last week. Anyone who loves football loves watching players like Thiago. Like the poise, the balance, the creativity, the ingenuity, just everything about him is just why we watch football.
And just to back up the stats,
it's sensational. Yeah, because I've got to move on.
Fabinho, Thiago, 20 games, Premier League has started, 18 wins, two draws. no losses, and average 2.8 points per game.
I hear you on that. I've got a few super chats on it here. Chris George says, Terry, Fabregas dominated the best teams in Europe at 18. Thiago was a bench player, albeit for a prime Barca. He's a great player, but Fabregas is unreal. Andre says, Xabi Alonso above both of them. He kept Fabregas, Thiago, and David Silva out of the Spain team. Gagadeep here says, Thiago is top 3 of this current generation, and being a Liverpool fan, Cess is clear in every facet except dribbling.
Not passing as well.
Bro, let me just read these out, please. Ricardo here says, Man United fan on the panel is so bitter about football. United's form must be getting to him. I think he's. I thought Mia. I forgot Sunshine was here. I didn't forget you were here, but I was like, Mia, I've been bitter. No. Zane is 22:20. At 22:20.
Oh, it's 10:20 p.m.
Oh, 10:20. Right, sorry. Emery crashes Mikel and Thiago, crashes Bruno. Zane at 10:30. We need to stop comparing things all the time.
Thank you so much for paying attention. I love it.
Speaking on the Ballon d'Or, lol, the half chances Salah missed are immediate goals by Benzema. And Machiavelli here says people need to stop with the Thiago Fabregas comparisons. Fabregas ahead, head and shoulders above Thiago. Have people forgot how good Fabregas is? So there you've had your say on it, people. Thank you very much for them. I want to ask another question, though. I want to ask the Liverpool fans about this now. It's a bit of a double-barrel question. Are you the best team in the world right now? And I'm not talking throughout the whole season. Right now, last 2 or 3 months of form. And do you see anybody stopping you from winning at least one of the major trophies this year? Like, I want to get your take on it as we really get down to the last 5 or 6 games of the season now. Like, this is it. Is anyone stopping Liverpool?
The first question is a simple yes, because I don't think we've lost a game in the last 2-3 months. I don't think so. Well, yeah. So that first one I can put away easy. The second one, I'd say out of everyone, the hardest fixture and the most likely to stop us is probably Chelsea in that FA Cup final. Just for the fact is revenge for the League Cup final and the missed opportunities that they had. That's the only team I can think.
You think Chelsea over City in the Champions League final?
I don't know who's playing in the Champions League final. So
stopping us is also the league, and City have got an advantage over us in the league. So we go into the FA Cup final level with Chelsea, right? So City definitely.
We've already beaten Chelsea in the final as well, man.
But that's the only one that I can see us stopping us. Like, will we lose against? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
What I'll say about the game at the Etihad when we ended up drawing 2-2 with them, that kind of knocked my confidence a little bit because we had a pretty much full strength team out, apart from arguing Naby or Hendo, whichever one you think is the better player. And for most of that game, they were the better team. And I didn't expect that because we went to that game and we were in really good form, and that knocked my confidence a little bit. But since then, I think we've come back. We have to bear in mind, obviously, that game was at the Etihad, and right now, it's between us and City. I think City are clear of Madrid. I still hope Madrid, and I hope Madrid beat them because I think Madrid, despite the fact that they're European heritage and all that stuff, I think we've got a better chance of beating Madrid than City.
Yeah, Sunshine. I want to throw Sunshine into Colleen for a bit of a rival view. When you look at City, in City's first game, they won narrowly against Atletico after dominating. I think we watched that game in the studio, Colleen. And then what happened is they had to play Liverpool, and they drew 2-2 at the Etihad. They then had to play hard in the second leg, and they were actually by far the second best team away at Ati. And then the fight happened. And then I know it was 3-2, but they got smashed by Liverpool in the semi-final. The fact that they threw away a 2-goal lead twice against Real Madrid, do you think that could impact City in terms of their league or even going through in the Champions League? Because they've just got to be on it for every game. Liverpool have got a chance now for a bit of extra rotation just to keep some legs fresh.
Go for it first, if needs be. Colleen, go for it.
After watching, I even said after the Champions League game with you, Terry, that as much as I don't like to say it, I felt like Liverpool just had that bit between their teeth these last couple months in comparison to City. Between the two, if I had to pick between the two teams, it might just be the style of football. I just prefer City if we're picking between the two teams. But in the last couple of months, it's very hard to like not see where the confidence is coming from in terms of whether these Liverpool fans are getting their confidence from. I think it's going to impact them. You can't, 2-2 with Liverpool, then losing to them, and then losing the lead a couple times against Real Madrid. I don't know. I personally don't see Man City going to the final. Me personally, I don't see it. I just don't think they've got the bottle. To be honest with you, I don't think they've got the bottle. So I think in that moment, I think that means Liverpool are the stronger team in this moment. But moments keep changing week by week in football. But that might put more emphasis on them in the Prem. But in the last couple of months, Liverpool. Overall, I lean more to City from the beginning of the season. But in the crunch time moments now, you can't not side with Liverpool. I don't think. I don't know about you and Sunshine as United fans, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak. There's many United fans, as Terry knows, that don't speak for me, so I'm not going to speak for others. But I'll speak from a footballing perspective. You can't deny Liverpool being the best team on current form right now. It's the most obvious thing ever. And if you disagree with that, I understand. But I'll be honest, you're probably just hurting. And rightly so. You're a rival fan, if anything. From a standard football perspective, Liverpool best team as it stands. The bit that I look at from an outsider looking in is, I think, because it's much harder to be ahead or seemingly be ahead than to be behind and chasing. City in the league, as we know, are ahead. Liverpool are the chasing team, so that gives you an automatic bit of hunger anyway. And those moments, those are the how can I put it? The make or break moments, which can define seasons, can define trophies and cups. Liverpool are still chasing City, so it's like, well, we're still on it for the league. Are you still prepared to maintain what you're doing? And I think that's where the extra pressure is coming on City. And it's difficult being at the top. It's much easier to be second and in great form than to be first and in great form, because there's added pressure. It's Liverpool seemingly are playing like they've got nothing to lose. City are playing like they've got something to lose, which is why you're seeing little wobbles here and there and they're scraping through. Ultimately, though, they're getting the results. And if you get results, it doesn't matter about this type of this stage of the season. Liverpool are going to have to maintain doing what they are doing. And City, let's say City do have that level of confidence and they do have that little bit of hunger, towards the end of the season, if they do win a trophy. Because it could literally be in the next trophy that they win. If they win the next trophy, they could get that hunger from, right, okay, we're going for number 2 and 3. We can take away from Liverpool. That's when you may see a new City turn up. So it's 2-0 right now. But again, Liverpool, just to clarify, from my perspective, as a biased United fan, if needs be, however you want to label it, there's no doubt in my mind that Liverpool are the best team at the moment. Sadly, by the way.
If we win the league, I think we win the lot. And if we don't, if City beat us the league, then I think it's almost 50-50.
I think what's interesting about it is this like, I do feel like for months now, Liverpool have been in better form. That's why they've almost caught City up. They knocked them out of the FA Cup. The only thing that can go wrong for Liverpool is if that kind of turns and City hit for the last 3 or 4 games of the season and they hit their best form, and Liverpool, if Liverpool maybe peaked too early, that's the only way. Liverpool, if they maintain this peak, Liverpool, and City don't match it, I still think you could do. And I mean, City fans keep saying I'm biased. I don't want Liverpool to fucking do it. Like, honestly, I'm sitting there watching the TV, screaming every single time Villarreal messed up tonight because I wanted you to lose, but I know it ain't happening.
I can hear your pain, Terry. I can hear your pain.
Can I get my take on this as well, please, mate?
Yeah, go on.
From my point of view, right, when Liverpool played City, I agree with Rack. City were strong then. They had no real injuries, and we were lucky to come up with a draw. I thought City just shaded it and showed that we were slightly the stronger team overall in all areas of the pitch. Now, as Colleen stated, the season's all about moments. Since obviously the Atleti games, they've lost some key players, and now they're a bit more fragile because they lost their, the wing backs are gone. Cancelo and Walker's out for the season, I believe. So it's a different proposition now in terms of City now. If they're fully strength, I would be worried and concerned we might edge it and we might be lucky. But now I'm a bit more confident just because they've weakened enough. It may be a couple of percentage points here and there, but now I'd feel more confident playing them at the moment. However, football's all about moments. There's nothing to say if we lose some key players at the wrong time, it could happen to us. And that's the mad thing about football is how strong and deep is your squad. I think overall, Liverpool have shown they've got a deeper squad to manage certain key players coming out, whereas City now are a bit brittle. And I think one more injury for them, the rails could fall off their season. Because like I said, for me, the Leeds game on the weekend, that's going to be a tough game for them. Do you know what I mean? Because they're carrying some knocks. KDB's not fully fit. He's carrying some knocks. So it's about momentum and injuries. And I think Liverpool have got the edge for once for a change, because we normally always injured. For once, we've got a fully fit squad. So you would have to say Liverpool probably have got the momentum on their side due to the fact they've got a healthier squad than City. And that's it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're in the ascendancy, and it's not yours to lose because it's cup competitions, and of course you're behind City, but it makes it exciting, doesn't it? Really, and the only thing about you getting Villarreal in the semi-finals is we kind of knew how it was going to go. There wasn't almost, and that's not a dig, but it's just a case of if it had been Bayern Munich, there'd be a little bit more excitement, there'd be a little bit more because everybody kind of wants Villarreal to win, but we all kind of know it isn't going to happen. It's a bit like, if you had Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final, there's a chance, but you all knew you're winning it, right? Man United played Crystal Palace 3 years ago. We were nowhere near your standard.
Terry, it was like now. Tottenham in the Champions League final, mate. Like, there was a slight chance Tottenham, but we all knew that we was going to win.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's just one of those things that's absolutely kind of inevitable in relation to that. And what I've loved about watching Liverpool, I said at the top of the stream, it's been interesting for me this season, is only a few months ago, Dom Hussein was doing this. He was talking about Tsimikas getting a long run in the team over Robertson. Zayn and many others. About Mane's got to go now, as an example. And it's amazing, isn't it, really? Like Henderson had a lot of crap in it. I thought he was excellent tonight. It just goes to show, like, I get that, like, everyone's entitled to an opinion. But when your team's brilliant, I've never really understood why Liverpool fans have got so angry, so annoyed. Maybe the fact that you didn't, because I still think you could have bought your Konate and Diaz's 18 months earlier and been stronger through last season. I think that's a fair criticism. But, like, these players are so good. It's just funny to me seeing, like, the level of criticism these players were getting only a few months ago to where you are now, you know?
Terry, just to correct that, Mane needed a break. He went 8 games in the Premier League without a goals and assist. I just think after about 4 or 5, you got to give someone else a chance.
Yeah, but you also wanted him sold.
Hang on, yeah, that's the point. That's it. This wasn't, I think he needs a rest. It's, man's done out here, bruv. Got to be sold. That's a very, that's very different. Okay. That's very different from he needs a rest.
All right. Let me ask the panel a question. Right? Let's keep it 100, right? Do any of you believe that Diaz coming to the club in January, which wasn't meant to happen, it was supposed to happen in the summer? Do you think that has been a key factor in Mane's upturn in form? Yes or no?
Yeah, but you didn't know that was going to happen.
I think it's been a factor.
There's multiple factors.
We don't know if it's a key factor. It's a factor.
Do you think it's a
you
factor?
could say AFCON. You could say his performances in AFCON helped regalvanized him.
And him going centre forward as well.
AFCON. He wasn't that great.
Exactly.
AFCON, bro.
What?
He wasn't that great.
Nah, you never watched AFCON, brother. No, stop. Bro,
he was Senegal's best player.
What yours?
It was painful.
Never.
But all I'm saying is that is there a coincidence in terms of the upturn in form since Diaz has come in? I would argue that.
So ironically, sorry, Sunshine. So ironically, that means the solution to Liverpool's problems was the complete opposite to selling Mane, but giving him competition. You're making your opinion even more in the mud, Zayn.
No, I'm not, because let's keep it real. FSG, again, Terry, with FSG, one thing that all Liverpool fans complain about is they don't buy anyone.
No, we don't.
They don't buy anyone, right?
I don't complain about
that. That's why, mate.
They don't really buy anyone, right? so we have to thank Tottenham Hotspur that they went in, flopped it with Diaz deal, and obviously we come and took him in, because Diaz wasn't. What if Diaz didn't come in? Would Mane be
We don't know.
If me aunt had balls, she'd be me uncle. That's all I got.
Exactly. It's hindsight, mate. It's like we don't know.
Look, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, if Liverpool if Spurs hadn't come in for Diaz, you may not have signed him now. You may have waited to the summer, and maybe you wouldn't be as good in the league and everything like that. But look, I don't think you can just say Mane is better because of Diaz. I think that's very disrespectful to Mane. The work he's put in to get his form back to where it is. Now, having competition helps, and those things are true, but you were talking about selling him because you said he was finished, and a lot of Liverpool fans said that he was finished. I've got a super chat here that says, congrats to Liverpool for reaching the Champions League final for the second time in 4 seasons. And my thoughts on City Madrid match for the second leg is, as long as we score, then I think we will go through, is what Chike has got to say here. Can someone ask Terry if he rates Marco Verratti? Yeah, of course I rate Marco.
He's a good player.
I very much rate. Now I know what someone's going to say. But they're going to put you only like GA. Yeah, for attacking players. Yes. Like, I mean, if you're a striker and you look the best in the world, but you're not scoring goals, do you know what you are? You're a shit striker. I'm just putting it out there. Do you know what I mean? You're shit.
Tell you know that whoever put that comment in hasn't been watching the Terrace for years, because for years you've been eulogizing about Marco Verratti and how you've won him at Man United. So yeah,
bruv, I was fantasizing over Marco Verratti like KJ's been doing over Lisa Rand. Like, it's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Life.
I bet KJ's regretting getting involved now. Like, I'm sorry, KJ, but I've got to call you out. I don't know. I can probably get done now for like bullying an employee. I don't know, because he works for me now. I don't know the rules. But there we go, boys and girls. Colleen, Rack, Ben, Ram, Zane, and Man Like Sunshine. I appreciate you all coming on and having your say tonight. KJ is still watching, as you can see there. I appreciate it. We're back tomorrow with more content for you. Of course, randomly, Chelsea, Man United. I've enjoyed watching football this week, and now my team's playing again.
Have faith.
Gutted. Right, I'm off. Thank you all for coming on. All my super chatters, I love you. My members, you're brilliant. My new subscribers, thank you. And to everyone else that's tuned in, take care. Good night, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are around the world. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.